Hey, it's Dr. Karen with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest, and we just finished Christmas, so it's been a very interesting and yet extremely active week on the spiritual front. So first of all, the good news. Well, on my way to family, I was in the plane and I suddenly started to feel this pain in my solar plexus. This was on the 20th. And, well, I thought, well, maybe it was the gluten-free pizza that I had because I hadn't had, pizza, especially commercial pizza, for a really long time. But I thought, well, I better check and see what it is. So I had already used Ascension 1 on my pizza and increased the light and Ascension score before I ate it, and it was delicious. Thank you very much. But what was fascinating, it took me a little while to figure it out. But what was fascinating was learning that this pain in my solar plexus area was like a separation pain from Mother Earth. For a while now, my body has been Mother Earth's body, so we kind of shared a body. If something was going on that I needed to know about, that I needed to heal in Mother Earth, I would get a pain in some place in my body. That's, those of us that are empathic that way, who have a soul's mission to heal Mother Earth, sometimes get physical symptoms, especially if you're clairsentient like I am. So I kind of, accepted that that was just what it was going to be, and I knew Mother Earth was my soul destiny partner. So it was just, kind of accepting that, well, you know what, if she needs me, I'll do whatever, And usually when I do healings on her, not only do I poop well, I actually feel much better. So this separation anxiety or this separation pain was very curious. And when I asked about it, what I found out was that Mother Earth no longer needs us to ground her ascension. Now, that's one of the reasons why, I've been really bloated around the belly area. This has been for the last, 9-10 months or so that's happened. It's about grounding the ascension. So I've been grounding the ascension and integrating it into me, but also I had the responsibility to do that for Mother Earth, and many empathetic starseeds did as well, and some earth angels as well. So maybe you didn't know if that was your role, but if you're very close to Mother Earth, or you have that sense you're close to Mother Earth, you might have had that role too. So once I figured that out, that Mother Earth no longer needed my body to be her body, it was like a relief, and I sensed some sadness at the same time. So this pain in my solar plexus was like separation sadness from separating from Mother Earth. It was like the weirdest thing. And at that moment that I had that awareness of what that was going on with me, James, sitting next to me in the plane, says, look out the window, look at that sunset. And it was the most beautiful sunset out of the plane. It was like purple and pink and orange, and it was amazing. It was like a little sign from heaven, a divine sign, like, hey, you got it. Thank you so much for your work. Getting a little bit clipped. Anyway, so I posted it on my Dr. Karen Can Facebook page that, hey, guess what, guys? This is what I discovered. And lo and behold, a whole bunch of people commented underneath it. I think it reached over 2,000 hits about what they were feeling too. Some people had chest pain, some people had belly issues, some people just had this sudden overwhelming sadness for no reason, or crying for no reason. And it was all of us empaths who were connected to Mother Earth. It was like we were being thanked and then just, separating from her. And this is the way it's supposed to be, but it's still a little sad. So that was, in a way, really good news, that we no longer needed to ground the ascension. We have done enough work to get to the part where Mother Earth can ground her own ascension. It's so amazing and exciting. Now, that doesn't mean you can't send Mother Earth healing, because we're just talking about ascension. There's a lot of other things, that we still need to do to help Mother Earth, but we don't need to help her ground the ascension, at least not through our bodies. Yeah, really cool. So the difficulty of the challenges over the holidays is a lot of people have difficulty anyway, being around family, eating a lot of sugar and, funky food and, GMOs or whatever. I pretty much ascension one to everything that I was eating, or put my hands on it and then elevated the light score before I ate it. When you're out and with family, they eat different things. But we had a really wonderful time, and even the 14-year-old niece, and James and I did weather magic so we wouldn't have a severe storm in Texas on Christmas, and we pictured what we wanted, and sure enough, the next day, all the family members were talking about the storm that was coming, and we're like, nope, not listening. I'm just kidding. We weren't doing that. But, we were steadfast in our, belief and our vision of what we wanted, and sure enough, Christmas was beautiful and sunny and, partially sunny, partially windy, but, it was getting too windy at one point, so I asked Archangel Uriel and his team, I said, can you please turn down the wind so we can grill our steaks for Christmas? And so that happened. So that was really cool, especially to prove to the 14-year-old she's powerful. I love that. However, there was a lot of extraterrestrial interference, and my understanding is as we, gain higher vibration and ascension, that some of these extraterrestrial interferences come out of the woodwork, like things that we couldn't measure or even feel before. Now we can actually feel and notice that they're there. So now, we can actually release them. So one of the things that happened was about three, almost 4 days ago, I woke up with back pain. And I know some of you are like, so did I, because we posted it on our Facebook group, and a lot of people started having back pain around the same time. Now, the back pain that I have is, I call it kind of like the kind where if you just move just the right way, it kind of twinges, and it feels like it's in your bone or your ligaments and your joints. Not so much muscular, not so much muscle spasm, but just like stiff. So if I rock my pelvis back and forth, there's like a little pain there. Actually, it's a lot better right now, but a little pain there. And I know this kind of pain as low minerals. Okay, so for those of you that have read my Guide to Healing Chronic Pain book, we talked about the different kinds of pains in the first, couple chapters in the book. This particular kind of pain is a mineral deficiency kind of pain. And it can be very severe. Literally, you can be like, can barely turn over in bed, can barely get up, you can't bend over, that kind of pain, because it'll just catch. Okay? I know some of you are nodding your head like, oh my gosh, I know that one. Yeah, mineral deficiency. So I'm thinking, why am I mineral deficient, right? I mean, yes, there's some stress with, traveling and things like that, but I even mailed a big bottle of Mineral Force and Mag Force from Dr. Davis to myself, with family. So we had the minerals on board. Well, when I tested, I wasn't fully hydrating. I wasn't processing my minerals properly, and it's been a long time that hasn't happened in a long time. Why? Because I put the Universal Shield up, and the Universal Shield has a new cellular filter, and y'all have it if you've downloaded my Universal Shield from my talks, and or if you have Ascension 1 and Ascension 2 healing products, you have the Universal Shield downloaded to you more than likely. So the cellular filter, what it does is toxins, as they get released when you heal, or if you're killing off infections, they have some toxins. When the toxins are released, sometimes they cause the cell wall to kind of like hunker down into protection mode, and it doesn't want to see all these toxins, and so you have problems absorbing minerals and water in the cells. So what I did was I created this Universal Shield with a new cellular filter, so as these toxins go in and out, or of the cell wall, as they interact with the cell wall of each cell, this new filter will automatically neutralize energetically those toxins, that you're releasing. So that way you don't have to get into these hydration, low minerals, issues. But this was different, because the cellular filter was there. This was not a physical toxin issue. So I'm like, well, what the heck is going on? And what it was is that my body was feeling or empathizing or proxying for mass consciousness for other people, in the world who were suffering from some of these extraterrestrial interferences. Sometimes it was devices, sometimes consciousness stuff, but this particular one that caused the back pain actually was some sort of disruptor, and it actually would disrupt the first chakra. And yes, it was malevolent, so we did get rid of it and try to heal everybody's first chakra. It's hard, it's there's going to be people that it's not complete because they have to now regenerate. The chakra might be happy now, but you got to connect to the other chakra. So we did a little work on that for everyone. But you actually may still have some mineral issues because there was a lot of ET interference going on, and it's showing up as mineral deficiencies. So you may want to take some more minerals this week. I mean, just down the stuff, like I'm drinking a ton of Mineral Forest. It really is helping. And I've also, done the Ascension 1, targeting the issues with my minerals. Same thing with Ascension 2 healing product. Just say, hey, fix the issues with my minerals and my hydration. And what's amazing is that as soon as I start releasing and healing those extraterrestrial interferences, my back gets better. and the thing is that you have to remember, it's not my back that's the problem. It's everybody else's back that's the problem that I get to feel. Okay, so, and the thing is, I check my boundaries. My boundaries are really, really good. But in this particular case, I found a weak boundary. The boundary was this: how willing I was in resistance to having a healthy boundary with others if they're getting attacked by extraterrestrials. Okay, so I found some resistance. So it was pretty high, actually. It was like something like my resistance level. If you were to say 0 resistance up to 10, it was really bad resistance. I was like at an 8 or 9. I mean, I was resisting having a healthy boundary if somebody else was in trouble, if they were getting attacked by ETs. So I have to work on my resistance stuff in order to have healthy boundaries. So I discovered that. So if you're feeling some issues that are not, getting healed or persistent, check in. How bad is my resistance? For example, say you have a chronic pain. So you can say your knee hurts. You can say, how bad is my resistance to having this knee pain out of 10? And you want it to a 0, right? You want 0 resistance because you want anything you resist persists. So you can ask, how bad is my resistance to my knee pain? And then you can say, how resistant am I to being completely comfortable in my knee? Like you can say the opposite and check the resistance, because sometimes you resist what you want too. So you can check a whole bunch of things of what you want and what you don't want and whether you're resistant to. And then once you get your number, you can use your Topocan healing and practice. I now command that this resistance be completely removed, dissolved, none created, and so on and so forth in the highest and best way, like we usually do when we teach in class. How to do the command. Or you can use the Ascension 1 product and ask, and just command that Ascension 1 be used to dissolve all resistance to this particular issue. So you might have, some fun doing some homework on what are you really resisting. So I got this idea from Jenny No, my friend Jenny No, because, I gave her this big long spiel about, the stuff I was working on, the belly swelling and the momentum and all this kind of stuff. And she kind of laughed a little bit. She said, well, I have no idea what's causing that, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. And remember, to work on your resistance, to what is. So that was a good reminder for me. Thank you so much, Jenny, for that reminder. So I'm sharing love with everyone to work on your resistance. So if you have low back pain, you're going to need to amp up your minerals, and you may need, to check how happy are my mineral levels, how well are they absorbing, assimilating, utilizing. Those are the 3 words that I usually use. We want all those near 100%. And then, of course, hydration, you want to be as close to 100% as well. How well are my cells hydrating? So you can use those words to check that. And, of course, you don't always have to know what's causing it because, unless you're a type 3 or 4 healing type, you probably don't even need to know. And sometimes you still don't need to know, even if you're 3 or 4. So you can just command Ascension 1 to be used to correct your mineral imbalances. And then if that doesn't work or doesn't work fully, then command Ascension 2. And work on your mineral and hydration. So I'm hoping to, continue clearing the whole world of the, these ET interferences, so we can reverse some of this, so you won't have to deal with the weird mineral stuff and be so stressed out with that. So check your first chakra, of course, see if it's happy, see if the light score is good, see if it's reconnected to all the other chakras, so on and so forth. So that's a good thing to check this week as well. If you have some neck pain, we did find this was a parallel universe, had the same 7th dimensional beings that were attaching energy suckers to each vertebra on your cervical spine, so 7 of them they were feeding off of people's soul energy, and I didn't actually know you could do that, but now I know. Soul suckers, I call them. Soul sucking energy sucker things. Anyway, so we had to do a whole rescue mission on that, and then I closed the wormhole for somebody between the two universes that she was feeling, and we hope that really helps, because it's kind of tough if you're empathic and you're a starseed. You have very high vibration, and you can feel all this stuff. So I will continue, and those of you that are my students that are also, healers, we could use some help. So definitely, check in and ask, how much of the extraterrestrial interference has been healed from all the world today or right now. And we wanted, of course, close to 100. When we wake up in the morning, might drop again. So go ahead and send Ascension 1 to clear and heal those imbalances, and then recheck. So the more people that do it, the more on top of things we will be, especially that a lot of stuff happens when I'm sleeping at night. So I get to work on it in the morning, but I'd love for someone to work on it while I'm sleeping. So, because sometimes I do wake up when there's an ascension and something's going on in the world, and then I'm like, okay, what's the job, So please, especially if you live in other time zones from Eastern time, that'd be awesome. If you just, in your daily wish, go ahead and send Ascension 1 to all the ETs and hidden ET interferences in the world. And you know what? I just want to make sure, if this is the first time you're listening to the Spiritual Medicine Digest, that you know that there are, benevolent extraterrestrials as well. In fact, I used to be one in a past life, so don't think that all extraterrestrials are bad people. It's just they tend to interfere, and right now, in fact, the regular, entities, malevolent, demon spirits, fallen angels, monkey demons, watchers, we're not seeing as much now of those individually. Maybe it's because, everybody's using Ascension 1 and 2 and on so many people, and we've cleared a big layer of them. What I'm seeing now is the dark angels and some demon-related activity in extraterrestrials. That's what I am, seeing now anyway. So that seems to be the focus, and because they have some physicality, these extraterrestrials, they are pretty good at messing up computers and Wi-Fi and electronics and power stations and all sorts of stuff. So if you have interesting electronic issues, that could be related. I did do a self-hosted talk with From Heartache to Joy. Sorry, I did not tell you about it at the last digest. I forgot. But the replay is, is going to be available, I believe, this weekend. So if you're not on the From Heartache to Joy on their mailing list, you can get on their mailing list, so you can have access to the replays of all the speakers from this week. And if you don't have my Ascension 1 and 2 healing products, or aren't part of the Light Warrior Bootcamp, we'd love to have you as part of that, so you can know how to do some of these clearings on your own, especially if you already do some energy healing or muscle testing. It's a no-brainer. So definitely, check out the replay of that call. I talked about light scores, and I talked about some of this ET stuff that's going down, and then I downloaded the Universal Shield to everyone and your home as well, home and pets and people in your house. So if you haven't listened to that, check that out. Also on Monday, so January 2nd, the day after New Year, we have my radio show. It's the Ask the Doctors LifeWave radio show, and we're going to be talking about nasal stuff, like stuffiness, congestion. People have been going through, cold and flu season, of course, with these symptoms, but for some people that live in the warmer climates, they actually have some pollen and issues like that. So the wonderful Dr. Dennis is going to be with me to talk about patching protocols using the LifeWave light therapy patches in order to support your body in healing itself and helping with some of these congestion symptoms. So let's see, what else do I have to tell you? Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But just so you know, my back pain gets a lot better when I figure out what's going on. So if you're an empath or an empathic starseed, or even an earth angel who's very empathic or sensitive, you very well could be feeling mass consciousness of what's going on with the world. And it's tough right now for us. I have to admit, there's a lot of folks that are sensitive, that are really going through a lot of physical stuff. So I've been working on expanding my other clairs, like instead of just being clairsentient, to be more clairaudient, claircognizant, that kind of stuff. And I just read my Archangel 101 book, and How to Heal Your Angels by Doreen Virtue, who I really, really enjoyed. And I definitely asked some newer archangels that I haven't worked with before for some assistance, and like Archangel Raguel, who really helps with conflicts in families and, just conflicts in general. And it was amazing, the results. So it was really cool. And all those frequencies of all those archangels are already in Ascension 2. Sometimes you just have to know what to direct it to. So be creative in directing your Ascension 1s and 2s on a daily basis. We need it more than ever right now. So thanks, everyone, and have a very, very happy New Year, and enjoy. And I will be on alert, on call, to help out with whatever happens in the holidays, because that tends to when stuff happens in the world. So I love y'all. Bye.